and in many ways grow, despite the fact that patriarchy, all it does is create victims. Yeah, and yet it has a great powerful hold on our imaginaries and our ideologies. And I just think, again, I can only speak to my context, Dominican Republic, then Central New Jersey, a poor community in Central New Jersey, and the way I grew up, right? Working poor. And working poor, as you know, that just means that we didn't come from Santo Domingo, so the motherfuckers didn't work. Every single one of my generations of kids, we had jobs from 13 and never stopped. I look at my cousins now up in the Bronx, and they're like lamping. They're like, I don't have a fucking job. You know, and it's a very different world, you know, and there's very specific reasons why this is true, but just the narrow group of people I grew up with, the boys I knew, their instruction manual to be a boy was guaranteed to fuck them all up. In other words, all of us, when we looked at our instruction manual, I had one of my boys was Egyptian, we grew up together. You know what I'm saying? One of my boys was Colombian, one of my boys was African American. When we all looked at each other's instruction manuals, they were slightly different, but they all had the same effect. You are to follow these rules as a man, and you will be destroyed. And in the process, you will destroy everyone else around you. And we'll call it a tie. And I think it often takes a lot of work for the average man to undo their commitment and investment to these really malign sets of codes and rules. I mean, fundamentally, the average boy that I grew up with, I'm not talking about all men, but the average boy I grew up with was told that masculinity is at odds with vulnerability. In other words, if you are vulnerable, you're not a man, and that's it. Well, what does that guarantee? That guarantees that any guy who follows this code will never have a friend and will never have real intimacy. You can have, say, these are all my boys, but without vulnerability, there can't be true friendship. And there certainly cannot be intimacy, you know? And I think that as a guy, I've felt as a guy, I'm 46, you guys. I've spent all of these years trying to undo the basic operation system I was given. And I think we just got to keep doing it. And we've got to start earlier and try to get some guidance around this. And sure, literature helps because so little of narratives about men offer them any useful alternative. 99% of the stories that have voice at the center, which are 99% of the popular stories, they're just there to teach boys to repeat the same old fucked up shit. Power, invulnerability, no vulnerability, and the belief, the fundamental belief that women are not human. At its core, the male operating system has, at its core, the belief that women are not human. That women are these strange partial beings that are there to serve limited functions, and one of them predominantly is sex. And if you can't see half the species as human, it means you're not seeing yourself as human. And it's guaranteed to just fuck you up. So this section here, what do we got? Wait, did we get both questions? Was there that other question we missed, this young person? Yes, young woman.